My name is Zoe, and in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you one of my favorite upper body movements for belly dance. This is a little more of an advanced movement. It is a chest twisty 8, I will call it. I don't know if it has an official name, but it is basically a combination of two other chest 8s that we have looked at before, which is the vertical chest 8 and the horizontal chest 8. So if you haven't seen those videos, I would definitely recommend checking them out before you do this one, because it's good to be able to get those separate movements before we combine them. But I will be reviewing a bit for this Twisty 8. So to review, the vertical chest 8 is made up of a tilt, a tilting movement, where we are stretching along one side of the upper body and contracting along the other side. So that's going to bring one side of our chest up and the other side down. And then we combine that with the basic horizontal slide movement. So we do a tilt and slide, tilt, slide, and smooth that out to get our vertical 8. And the horizontal chest 8 does not use the tilting movement, but instead we do a horizontal twist. So we're bringing one side of our chest to the front and the other side to the back, and combining that again with that same horizontal slide, twist, slide, twist, slide, smoothing that out to get the horizontal 8. So as you can see, the horizontal 8 is moving only along a horizontal plane. There is no movement on the vertical plane. And the vertical chest 8 is moving only along a vertical plane with no horizontal movement. Now, the Twisty 8 is going to move along both planes and combine all of those. So, like I said, it's a little more complicated, but I think it looks amazing. It's probably my favorite chest movement to use, so I definitely do recommend learning it at some point. So, to get started with this movement, we are going to, again, twist, as we did for the horizontal 8. But now we are also going to tilt. So back to neutral, twisting, whichever side is twisted forwards, in this case, that's my right side, I'm going to tilt that side up. And then I'm going to do the slide. So I'm going to now push my chest out on a kind of upwards diagonal. So I'm going to the front and up with this slide or push. And now I'm going to twist the other way and then again tilt the other way. So now the other side of my chest is up and forwards, and slide or push. Twist and tilt and slide. Twist, tilt, slide. So go very slowly at first. Slide, twist, tilt, slide, twist, tilt, slide, twist, tilt, slide. Of course, this looks very mechanical right now, so you do want to eventually smoothen it out, as always with the 8s. So the twist and tilt are kind of happening almost at the same time. I would say I'm still twisting a little bit before I start tilting, but it's not so discreet that it's just twist and then tilt and then slide. That's good just to practice to get the feel of the movement, the directions of the movement. But once you actually want to get that smooth 8, you want to combine. So twist and tilt and around, sliding, twist, tilt, push, and then coming around. So you can really imagine your chest really coming around here to make this weird twisty 8 because it's not horizontal and it's not vertical. It's diagonal, sort of, oblique. But it's so much fun. I think this looks really nice. And again, it is important to be able to do the horizontal and the vertical 8 separately before combining them. And of course, we can also do this going the other way. So in this case, I'm going to twist just as before. I'm going to tilt just as before, but I'm going to slide back and down. So instead of sliding to this corner in the front and up, I'm going to slide to the corner in the back and down. And again, twist, tilt, and slide back and down. Twist, tilt, slide. Twist, tilt, slide, twist, tilt, slide. Twist, tilt, slide, twist, tilt, slide, twist, tilt, slide, twist, tilt, slide. And now we smooth it out into another twisty 8, but in the opposite direction. So for this one now, I'm coming back and then around to the front and around to the front. So this twisty 8, at least to me, has the feeling of coming forwards more. I would say I use it a bit less. It's a little more assertive, sort of, in that way, because you're coming forwards with it. It can be very effective in the right place, definitely. But I don't use it quite as much as I use the other going this direction, which is a bit more, it has a more feeling of going to the back. And I would say this one for me is very emotional. It's really great to throw into some tarab songs, or when you have some of these more emotional instruments, violin. This would be great with violin or ine, accordion, any of those melody instruments. This movement goes very well. Going the other way as well can be good with those instruments, especially ine, because I think it has, this direction has sort of a mysterious, snaky feel to it. So I know that was a lot, where you can use this movement in your dancing. Of course, as with all upper body movements, we want to make sure this is isolated to the upper body, which is why I like to practice sitting down as I am here. Also, practicing with your hands on your knees as I'm doing helps to make sure that your shoulders are not playing a big part in the movement. You really want to have it more isolated in your torso in those movements. So a lot of back and ab and side muscles are working here. So we are going to practice this with a bit of music, but first I just want to show you a few little things you can add on to this to make it even more fun. So the first is going to be, and I really only do this one for the back twisty 8, the first one we learned. And that's just throwing in a light sort of snake arms, but really it's mostly just the elbow wave. And you can even do a little reach with it. That makes it really dramatic. So kind of letting your whole body float with it. You can even let your head fall to the side. So you're being sort of led by the chest movement, and then the elbow pulling you, and then the head at the end. This is very emotional. Definitely is a lot of fun to use at the right moment. I wouldn't overuse it for sure, but very much like longing and a very romantic sort of feeling when you add the arms and the head with that. Not so much for the 8 the other way. For the 8 the other way, I tend to have my palms facing up more. It's more of a, again, this movement has more of a feeling of coming towards somebody. So I usually would have the arms more up. Those are just personal preferences. Definitely feel free to experiment with arms or other upper body movements and see how you like them. Play around. And finally, a last thing you can add onto these twisty 8s if you want even more of a challenge is you can throw in a little chest shimmy. So that's just the horizontal twisting back and forth of the chest. And then you can layer that with the 8. This would make it probably less of that romantic and dramatic feel and more of a fun feeling for both types of twisty 8, coming forwards and back, to like if you're doing shabby music or even a pop song or something, this might be very appropriate there. So there's a lot of things there for you to try. We are going to drill this a bit with some nice, smooth Taksim-like music, just to have fun with it. So we're going to stand up and drill this move. So that was the Twisty 8 for the upper body. Again, really a fun move, one of my favorite upper body moves to throw in there. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Share with your friends. Thank you so much for watching and happy practicing.